back to the Cougar Connection podcast. Today we are highlighting a new staff member in our new Teacher Spotlight series. I'm Macy McLaughlin here with Mr. Wort, who is a preschool teacher here at Atlanta Central Preschool. Tell us a little bit about your family, where you're from, hobbies, pets, or anything that you'd like Atlanta Central to know about you.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Name's Keaton Wort, 25, originally from Mount Sterling, Illinois. Moved here this summer, in late July, and starting off the school year with a new environment, new community, and so far so good. I haven't had many challenges or leaps along the way, but very grateful, very blessed to be here. Kind of a little bit about my family. I'm a triplet, so all boys. So my mom, yeah, she's been through a lot.
She's got a handful.
Yeah. I got a younger brother who's also 19. He's going to University of Kentucky in Lexington. So we're kind of spaced out right now, but hey, life happens. So. Hobbies, big sports guy, any type of sports, football, basketball, baseball. Do a lot of coaching back home. Summer league team I did. I did high school as well for baseball, and I did 1 year of basketball before coming here. So.
Yeah. Anything specifically that attracted you to Atlanta Central?
Well, it's when I pulled in the first time. I'd never been to Mason City, and I'm like, there's not really much here. But looking at the school, I'm like, wow, they're building on new school, and baseball field was in good shape, and the gym was in good shape too. And I'm like, this seems like a good place, and real small. And I didn't want to be in a real big community. I didn't want to just be a number. So.
Yeah, did you pull up when all the road construction was going on?
Yeah, I pulled.
You got windmills and solar panels and new school.
Yeah.
Kind of a mess for a while.
Yeah, I pulled in. I'm like, oh man, I had to sit and stop at the stoplight for about 20 minutes, and I'm like, oh, I don't know about this. Yeah, yeah.
That's fun. Yeah, well, I'm glad they got that opened up.
Yeah, it looks good. So.
Yeah. What made you want to become a teacher?
Well, I was in high school at the time, and I just was working with preschool kids during lunch, helping them with opening up their little bags and open up their milk. And I'm like, I don't know if preschool is really what I want to do, but they let me get out of the high school and go to the elementary school there in town, and just fell in love with the way the kids looked at me and looked up to me. They went to all of the sporting events when I was in high school, and that kind of drew me into teaching. I knew I wanted to get into education. I didn't know what I wanted to do grade level wise, but I did want to coach. But yeah, my mom was in education for about 25 years, and then she went back and got her administrative degree, and yeah, I always liked going in after school and sitting with her in the classroom and working on homework or helping her do whatever she wanted to do. She taught science, so and math, so it was kind of, she had a lot of things in her classroom to do, and I saw how hard she worked, and I knew that's something I wanted to do, and here I am. So.
That's really cool. My mom's actually a principal too. She actually taught here for a few years, and she was the vice principal here, and then she transferred to a different school. So we're kind of similar in that aspect. Nice. Yeah. So what's your favorite thing about teaching?
Well, I think my favorite thing is just the connections. In this day and age, unfortunately, a lot of kids don't have a lot of a male role model in their life, and there's not a lot of men in early childhood, and especially in pre-K. So just having a lot of connections with the kids is the biggest thing, and seeing the smile on their face, and knowing that I can do as much as I can when they're at school. I can't, unfortunately, do anything when they're at home, but from the time they step in to the time they get on the bus, I try to do everything I can to make a connection and make them feel loved. It's a big thing.
Accomplish this year as a new teacher here at Atlanta Central?
Well, I think a big thing to accomplish is just form relationships with new families and staff, and so far it's been a great start of the school year. We talked a little bit about construction, and I was like, oh my gosh, this construction is going to last forever, but everything's turning out really good. I think a big goal for me would just reach out to as many people as I can and just try to get my name out there. I don't want to be a stranger, especially in a small town like this. I want to be known, and I want people to understand that I'm here to help the kids as much as I can. And um, I'm not much of a I don't really go out and do things, like I don't go shopping all the time. I like to just keep to myself and stick to routine. But I'm trying to kind of get out of routine and do things I haven't done before. And Mason City was a great opportunity. There's not a lot of people that know who I am, and just try to make the most of it. And yeah,
Yeah, you'll find it's pretty hard to be a stranger around here once you get to know people. But
yeah.
it's been good.
I've ran into a few people at the Casey's. I've only been in there once or twice, and
That's
uh,
yeah.
yeah,
That happens to me all the time.
yeah.
So now that you've been teaching here for a few weeks, what's some of your favorite things about Alliance Central, or something that you've enjoyed?
Well, I think the big thing is just the community aspect of it. I mean, there's so many people out there that are trying to help, and whether it's in education or whether it's just when I go on my walk every night and see people, they wave and say hi and
Yeah.
ask how I'm doing, and I think that's just it's a really great thing to have. And the kids are really excited to come to school. Some days not so much, but for the most part, kids are very excited to come to school, and they've been so accepting of a new teacher, especially as a male. I was kind of worried that some of the kids wouldn't respond well to something new coming in, but they really enjoy having me there, and it's been a blessing so far. So.
That's cool. I've lived here my entire life, so I totally get that
Yeah,
community thing. I
yeah.
mean, you can't go on a walk without seeing somebody
Yeah,
you know and stuff.
yeah,
And it's nice in some ways, but
yeah.
it can be a little
Yep.
bit frustrating
Sometimes
sometimes.
I have my headphones in, and sometimes if somebody wants to talk, I'll take it off. But
Yeah, that's fun. So even though you only have like young kids and preschoolers, if you can give your students a piece of advice, that something that you've experienced, what would that be?
I think if I can give any advice to kids nowadays, is just to reach out and ask for help. You never want to feel alone. You're never alone. There's always somebody that's going to be there to help you, whether it's professionally, educationally, whatever the case may be. And just reach out, and if you have questions, just ask. There's never a dumb question. It may seem dumb to you, but it's surely somewhere along the line somebody's asked that question. So.
Yeah, that's really good. So after I'm sure it's stressful sometimes having preschoolers going a million miles an hour. So how do you like to wind down after a long day at school?
Well, when I get home, I always turn on The Office. I'm a big Office guy. I've watched it probably, I don't know, 4 or 5 times, the whole series. And they have the new. I had to get a Peacock prescription, and they have the Office extended cut, so it's like behind the scenes and more that you didn't see when it first came out, on the DVDs. So I usually watch about 2 episodes a day of the new extended cut, and for most of it, I can quote a lot of it, not all of it, but I'm pretty particular about my shows. I'm a big Office guy. Usually on my walks, I listen to country music, or I have a really good podcast right now. It's on early childhood, talking about just like how kids are, their brains are like sponges. Like they're getting so much information given to them in a short amount of time, and it's just they're bringing it all in, and then you're like, oh my gosh, how can I assess this? And so I started a new podcast, and I'm not real big on podcasts. I do listen to like Barstool Sports, but it's more like talking about statistics, like stats for baseball and football, and but yeah, it's a new educational one, and it's good so far. It's kind of boring at times. They kind of give you some more background about the educational setting, like where they're at, and the time of day and all that. But yeah, that's what I like to do so far, and other than that, just hang out and watch sports as much as I can. I try to get out and watch the baseball team right now, and I'm hoping volleyball just started up. So
And we got a home game tonight.
oh yeah. They were looking for people to do the stats, and I would do the stats, but I don't know anything about volleyball.
Yeah.
I know I can watch it and that they hit the ball over the net.
Right.
But I don't know anything about statistics, so I didn't want to put myself in a bad spot on the first night of volleyball.
That's pretty fair. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm hoping to catch some volleyball games and basketball coming up in the winter. Catch as
We're
many
big about
games as I can.
basketball here.
Yeah.
So, are you gonna listen to this podcast on your walk sometime?
Yeah, I need to start watching this and listen to it. And I know Tony's got a really nice
Oh yeah,
podcast, and
it's a good one.
I'm hoping I can learn something for him. I know he's been a great
Yeah,
help so far.
that's good.
So
So you kind of already touched on this, but who is the top artist on your playlist right now? Or top? You said country music.
yeah,
So.
big country guy. I'm not. I don't listen to any rap or pop. Sometimes I'll do pop, but right now, Cody Johnson. I like Cody Johnson.
Right.
He used to be a bull rider. He's got a real nice, strong voice, and he's got a good story to all of his songs. But it kind of just depends on the mood, really. I mean,
Yeah.
um, I like strong voices, so like Chris Stapleton and some of those artists are what I like to listen
That's
to.
cool.
Yeah.
Good. All right. Well, thank you for taking the time to sit down with me today, and make sure you guys look out for the next episode on the Cougar Connection podcast coming to you soon.